Mike past releases done by Andrew Irwin and John Irwin, or the Irwin brothers, I believe they're better known. Specifically in terms of projects, I still believe, and I can only imagine, both very popular Christian films and really well-made films and just good stories overall. This one looks very impressive. Again, I don't know, as I said, covering this movie, I'm not familiar with Kurt Warner's story directly. These trailers and this film, by de facto, are serving as a first introduction for someone like me. And I love learning about people's journeys, especially when it comes to maybe journeys pertaining to different tribulations in life and perhaps what's produced from that, as well as the faith involved, which I'm saying that because, again, that's directly involved here. Andrew Irwin and John Irwin are, they definitely make, as I said, I still believe and I can imagine, very well-known Christian films. They're very active in the Christian faith film space. And it's really cool to see a major studio like Lionsgate paving that foundation for that. At least giving them a place where they can distribute that content. Again, I've loved Lionsgate content for some time. Not every release has been perfect, but again, they're a very high quality studio from, again, most of the films that I've seen, and I've certainly been impressed with their faith-based movies. They're incredible to watch. And as a Christian, I'd love to see Christian films succeed. And this one did, from what I've heard. I mean, of course, there's some other main attractants. You've got it's a sports biopic story surrounding Kurt Warner. Again, many people probably know that name, especially within the football realm. I didn't. As I said, this is the first introduction, and I'm not really the biggest football fan, but I love learning about people's stories, so that's a point of appeal for me. And again, I would mention for a lot of people who are football fans and sports fans, and maybe follow Kurt Warner, that's going to be an attractant for this movie. I could see it being, since it's a very grounded, inspirational story, that might bring some families in. It seems like an appropriate family release, which, for the holiday season, this came out on Christmas Day. You've got major cast members, including Zachary Levi, Anna Paquin, Dennis Quaid, all big names. It was really cool, too, to see, again, that this film, at the very least, now, again, it's not $1 billion movie, but from what I heard, it did well, especially amidst a very cramped holiday season. Because, again, this came out Christmas Day, and not all of these other films came out on Christmas Day. Some came in advance of that, but you had how many of our bigger releases? Spider-Man No Way Home. Ain't nothing getting bigger than that movie. Pretty much, that movie was way above all the competition. But you've got Nightmare Alley, King's Speech, Lady of Heaven, The Matrix Resurrections, West Side Story, all supposedly big Hollywood releases. Well, I mean, West Side Story really flopped, as well as a couple others there. But bigger, name releases. And then you got American Underdog somewhere in there, which didn't seem to be the underdog, again, from what I heard. Maybe, Kurt Warner's story. Let's go ahead and take a look at this from a trailer perspective. Again, I like although I will still say, the way this movie went about marketing itself is kind of unusual from what I've seen, because usually movies start out with a trailer and then they'll maybe do a featurette after, but this movie did it in reverse order. So we had the featurette first to give you the background of the story, then you got the teaser trailer, and now we're going to look at the trailer in a second. But I liked both. I'm very excited to watch this one eventually. Let's give this a look. I mean, I don't know if it'll be in theaters. I'll see, but I would assume it's going to be on streaming or DVD. At some point, I will watch, just as I have previous Irwin Brothers films. I've absolutely loved them. So again, I'm not going to pass up on American Underdog. We're going to go ahead and watch the main trailer, and we'll talk about it more in my condensed review segment. Follow us watching the video together. Just trying to figure out where I put it. Okay. Without further ado, here we go. Okay, let's take a look at this.
Destiny belongs to the underdogs. You want to prove
the pointing there indicatively, you're like, okay, this is definitely going to intertwine with the Christian faith. I would imagine, again, because that's what Irwin Brothers are known for from some of the previous work. And that was suggested previously in the other trailers.
I feel alive. Kind of like how I feel right now.
I'm staying here. I got work to do.
Work? The NFL's not going to draft some dude from the 1AA school in Iowa.
There were other offers. Can't you just...
I called every team in the NFL. No one's interested. Can I get one of your applications? I promised that I would take care of you and the kids.
I did get a bit of a vibe from that shot a moment ago of him in the convenience store with the jacket on. I'm like, is this Shazam? Maybe it's just the build and the angle, but I'm like, oh, that's a different movie. But that was Zachary Levi, so.
Yeah, it didn't pick me.
Not surprised I would confuse the shots for at least a second.
I'll pick you too.
Kurt Warner. You got the whole package, kid. The world just needs more time to see it.
He came up with this whole arena concept.
Arena football.
The music choice is a good match here,
It's like
too.
a circus.
People love the circus.
I like the circus.
You pay me per touchdown?
I also pay you to win.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Hey, Kurt.
We've been trying to reach you.
I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm with the Rams.
This guy's old. Slow as molasses. He's beneath the standards of this franchise.
That's what people said about me when I came here. All those years gave you something others didn't have. Made you ready for this moment.
Kurt Warner out of the Arena League. It's one of those stories that's too good for the movies. It's perfect. This guy here, he was bagging groceries 5 years
It
ago.
really does look like a sweet story.
And you show the world what I've known all along. You were born for this.
It's beautifully shot too with the lighting in the stadium. Like when he goes to
my time.
that
I know who I am.
kiss. It's just,
I know why I'm
I
here.
love the illumination behind the heads. It's beautiful. The lighting placement just was really good. Good production value too. Again, like I said, if you've watched previous Irwin Brother releases, you know the high quality you're getting. I mean, you might not even be watching perspective of like, like as I said, I'm a Christian, so for me, I have perspective that is very similar to where the film's messages at some level are going in regards to the I Still Believe and I Can Only Imagine, I guess American Underdog. But for many other people that might be like, I'm checking out a movie and maybe you don't necessarily consider yourself a Christian or somebody with a sense of faith or denomination that might be. But you can probably still see, again, the respectability in regards to the quality of the films. Again, like I've said, I've just been impressed with what I've seen. And presentation-wise, this is very beautiful. I mean, again, they've got major studio backing through Lionsgate. But it looks like such a great film with a lot of potential. And it's very real, very grounded. So even people might just be looking for a very realistic story. And perhaps in some way, true Americana. Because, again, that's very football, right? You might find a home with this movie. I think it's going to be really good. Again, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to see it in theaters because I've got a really busy schedule right now. But at some point, like I have for the previous releases, I will watch that, whether in some form, whether that be. I don't know if a lot of Lionsgate movies end up on streaming. I know a bunch do on the Roku platform, but those tend to be a little bit smaller names. I would imagine this will probably be initially available on DVD. And if so, I will make an effort to pick one up and I'll probably watch it that way. What are your guys' thoughts on American Underdog? I mean, ideally, I'd be going to the theater. I'm just, full confession, I've just got a really busy schedule right now. Let me know what your thoughts are down below on American Underdog. Will you watch it? Don't forget all the good stuff, like subscribing to sharing that bell until we get to watch more in the future, perhaps from Lionsgate or from, maybe the next Irwin Brothers endeavor. I will see you guys where a point that happens to be. But for now, thanks for watching this video. I love you guys. Don't forget to love yourselves, your fellow man. God bless and peace.